This week on The Traitors.
Am I faithful?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the. We're going to be talking about the new episode of The Traitors, Season 3, Episode 8. Let's get right into this. Okay, you guys, so quite a bit to talk about. I'm truly enjoying this season of The Traitors. Is it as good as last season? No, but it's still pretty entertaining. So we begin where we left off last week. So the traitors are going to have to commit their murder face to face this time. And there are 6 people that were, I guess you could say, available for this murder given the mission of that week. But it's really 5 because one of them was Carolyn, but she's a traitor, so she can't kill herself. So those people are Tom, Sandoval, Gabby, Chrishell, Dolores, and Dylan. And what each of them had to do was that they had to individually go inside of a church. It was like super decorated and really like cool but like creepy kind of way, if that makes sense. I was living for it. So they have to each go to the church altar, and then they have to turn around to see who is there. If they see Alan, that means they're safe. But if they see the traitors face to face, it is because it is time for them to go. That was all they showed, because then we go straight to breakfast. It's the morning. Danielle and Britney are the first ones there. They've gotten super close lately. The people are very happy that Boston Rob was eliminated. Also, let's not forget that. The ones who were safe from last night, were the ones that didn't go into the church at all. Those were the first ones to get to breakfast, and then those who were saved start to arrive little by little. So first it's Gabby, then it's Tom. When Tom gets there, he's sort of telling everybody how it was last night. He describes how the church looked, the experience, and then he just casually describes Alan's outfit. Now Sam, who's starting to talk a little bit more, he got a great idea. It's really smart. He has the idea that every single person who survived, when they come into breakfast, they should ask them to describe what Alan was wearing. Because if they didn't see Alan, that means they never were up for banishment because they were traitors themselves. So Carolyn is the next one to get there, and they ask her what was Alan wearing, and poor Carolyn was freaking out because she didn't know. Now, luckily for her, she's a little kooky, so she kind of gets a pass, but also Tom can be a little dumb. So he was sort of helping her out without realizing that he was. So then my queen of New Jersey, Dolores, arrives, and then the last one to get there is Dylan. So they got rid of Chrishell. Thank God. She was such a bad faithful. She never voted for any correct person. She was just a mess. And I was tired of her personal digs to Tom. Like, this is something very different, little girl. Like, get over it. But they show how it happened. Carolyn and Danielle killed her face to face. And Chrishell, she wasn't surprised seeing Danielle as a traitor, but she definitely was surprised to see Carolyn as one. So that's who is still remaining. So then they have some time to sort of hang out around the castle. Now that Boston Rob is gone, Danielle really wants to work together with Carolyn again and for them to really win this. As far as the faithfuls, they don't really know where to go from here. Tom does ask Carolyn about her little incident with Danielle at the round table a few episodes ago. And Carolyn kind of just vaguely responds. Sam, though, he says that he wants to go back to the coffin theory. Remember when 3 people were put in a coffin and then one of them ended up dying? It was Jeremy, Nikki, and Ciara. Now, obviously, Jeremy was killed that night. Nikki has already been banished, and they knew she was a faithful, so the only remaining one is Ciara. Now, as far as Ciara, she is bringing up to others how close Danielle and Britney have gotten and how she thinks that is suspicious. So it is then time for the mission. So they split into two teams of five. One team is going to be eligible to earn a shield, and they're like playing rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to be on what team. So the first team, we're going to call it Team 1, is Tom, Danielle, Britney, Ivar, and Ciara. So this team, Team 1, they're going to be going into the forest, into this like creepy house in the middle of it, and they are going to have to go in there and find creepy dolls that say a nursery rhyme backwards. Team number 2 is going to stay in the castle, and what's going to happen is that the team number 1, which is in the forest, they're going to have to find the dolls, hear the message, get a telephone, and then say the message to team number 2 that's in the castle. So when team number 2 who's in the castle gets the message, they have to then record it onto this like record player thing that will play the message backwards. So like the message is already backwards, but then this record thing makes it backwards again, so it kind of puts it in its original way. And based on that, then they have to guess what popular nursery rhyme the little doll was saying, and if they get it correct, they win money. I know that sounds a little confusing, but it kind of made sense. And this actually reminded me of last season. They did the same thing, but they did it with animal sounds. So yeah. So they get going on doing it. Now, team number 1, they're like, uh, they're just crazy. They have no structure. They're getting dolls and breaking them and don't know what the hell they're doing. Everyone's kind of also just sort of looking for the shield, to be honest. But then you guys, Tom Sandoval was the star of this episode. Seeing him try and hear and memorize the little messages the dolls were saying, and then him singing it on the phone was the funniest thing I've seen this season. Like, literally the funnest thing.
Bugger?
They were able to get 4. They got Row, Row Your Boat, The Muffin Man, 3 Blind Mice, and Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and that all equaled to $20,000. Now, as they were standing there, Ciara happens to look down on the floor, and she sees a bear that has the shield, so she gets the shield. But you guys, this was definitely the funniest mission. Very fun to watch. So they head back to the castle. Ciara is still the main suspect, but Britney's name is still being thrown around, and Carolyn really wants to get Britney out because Britney and Danielle have gotten way too close. Ciara is the only one, though, who is also additionally saying Danielle's name as well. So then it is time for the round table. Alan tells them, this is interesting and important, that tonight will be the last night where the person who gets banished will reveal if they're a faithful or a traitor. After this week, they're going to have to just, be strategic. So Ciara begins, she defends herself, she says that she's not a traitor, and Ivar says that he thinks that the remaining traitor has to be a girl, because none of the traitors that they've eliminated have been girls. And you guys, not Tom Sandoval interrupting to say, yeah, because girls cheat more. I mean, the irony of it. So Sam also jumps in there and says why he thinks Ciara is a traitor, and Britney as well. She says that the night before, the only people who voted for her to be banished were Boston Rob and Ciara. And Ciara says, yeah, because to be honest with you, the reason I thought you were a traitor is because you've been laying low. Like, you haven't been really doing much because your other 2 traitors were really, all this, and you've had to lay low. Ciara then reminds everybody that if they want to talk about the coffin theory, then let's talk about the fact that Jeremy was killed, and the only person he had named before that day, who he thought was a traitor, was Danielle. So then Danielle says that she isn't a traitor, that she's a faithful because all of the people that have been killed have been her friends, so why would she do that? Then they bring up what Ciara said that night of the coffins, because the night that the 3 of them, Jeremy, Nikki, and Ciara, were put in the coffins, they did have to plead their case to the traitors, and all of them pretty much said like, please don't kill me, or like, I'll work with you. But Ciara was the only one that said F y'all, something like that. But these people are reading too much into it, and they think that was like negative because she probably, it was a premeditated thing to say. They're putting a lot on this. It is then time to vote. Dylan begins by voting for Ciara. He is then joined by Carolyn, Sam, Ivar, Dolores, Danielle, Gabby, Tom, and Britney. Ciara voted for Britney, but wow, you guys, every single person voted her out. She then goes to reveal what she is, a faithful. Listen, I'm upset that she left, but to be honest, I saw it coming. The suspicion on that coffin stuff, she had a target on her back for weeks, and I'm actually kind of surprised that she even made it this far, given that theory, that initial theory. So after that, everyone's sort of talking about, what just happened, what do they think. Ivar, Sam, and Dylan are hanging out behind the bookshelf, and Dylan believes that one of the ones who stayed at the castle during the mission are probably going to be killed because no one really knew who had the shield, even though it was Ciara, and Danielle does know this. And then Carolyn and Danielle were sitting outside of the bookshelf, and they're super lucky that the guys didn't hear them out. So then it is time for the traitors to meet at the turret. They meet, and Danielle lets Carolyn know that Ciara had the shield. But then in that moment, Alan joins them. He tells them that tonight they will have a choice: kill somebody as usual, or recruit another faithful to become a traitor. So he lets them discuss among themselves, and they're in disagreement. Danielle says, yeah, let's recruit somebody. Carolyn says, no, let's kill somebody. But Danielle has an idea. She says the people are determined that the remaining traitor or traitors are female. Let's recruit another woman so that that woman can be the one that's banished, and we'll get the smoke off of us. But, and Carolyn is kind of like, okay, I'm hearing you. But then there's another major disagreement because Danielle wants that recruitment to be Britney, but Carolyn is adamant that she does not want it because she knows how close Danielle and Britney are, and she's like, what, are you crazy? I'm just gonna let you bring your bestie and like expect that you're gonna still stick next to me? And to be honest, I kind of see Carolyn's point. She just has major trust issues in Danielle. She doesn't trust her at all. But that's where the episode ended. Again, you guys, great episode, pretty entertaining. I'm gonna be looking forward to see who they will recruit. Who do you think it will be? They're kind of, they need to decide between Gabby and Britney. That's what they're trying to decide. So, hey guys, let me know what your thoughts were about this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.